TV. And
Moses Agaba is a journalist with Voice of Chigezi FM in Kabale district. In his younger days, he was also a prolific goalkeeper for Kabale Secondary School when he was a student doing his O-level there between 2002 and 2005. This is how he secured his nickname, Seaman, in tribute to former England and Arsenal goalkeeper David Seaman. He also played for Maziba FC after he completed his A-level at Chigezi Hope Academy in 2007. According to those who witnessed his exploits, he was quite the hero between the sticks.
Guys know me about as Seaman. They had nicknamed me after the Arsenal legend David Seaman. In all my secondary life, I was a footballer, but I had to stop in 2010.
But his name Seaman from the other keeper of Arsenal was called David Seaman. I think he was his fan and he admired him. I believe that's why he got into the antics of being well in goalkeeping.
The name Seaman, they nicknamed him from the school. He was in a secondary school where he was their goalkeeper. I don't know where they got that name from, but they named him Seaman.
Miss Jovia Twinemasco, Agaba's mother, said her firstborn son grew up in Kabale as a very active and enthusiastic young man.
And he was born normal, and he grew up as a normal child. He has 3 siblings, 1 boy and 3 girls, and he's the firstborn. Growing up, he had no problem.
Born in 1984 in Motojo village in Kaharo sub-county in Kabale district, Agaba is the firstborn of the 4 children of Jovia Twinemasco and the late Elise Ruhara. Apart from his younger brother, there are 2 sisters, all now married. Agaba completed his primary education at Ndora Primary School near Kabale town. He also holds a diploma in social work and social administration from Kabale University, besides several certificates. At this time, those who meet him say he was much smaller.
He had normal weight. At Kabale Secondary, he was a goalkeeper. But later, after secondary, I think he developed hormonal imbalances and the weight exploded.
The 41-year-old Agaba says that after completing his A-level in 2007, he developed breathing problems and sought medication. It was after taking the medication for this condition that his body started to change. It is suspected that these drugs triggered a hormonal reaction that started the continuous release of cortisol that caused his body to blow up from 70 kilograms to a whopping 180 kilograms within 1 year.
I developed a cough. When I went for medication, they told me I was asthmatic. So I started taking drugs. When I kept taking on drugs, but after 2 years, that was in 2010, they told me I had developed that it was the drugs I was taking, that I shouldn't have taken them every day.
Around the time his body was going through these changes, he started practicing journalism, initially at the Red Pepper newspaper and later at the Voice of Chigezi FM. His major inspiration to do journalism was former Daily Monitor reporter Julius Muchunguzi, who is now the spokesperson at the Electoral Commission.
He loved guiding those young journalists who were coming in the field. He tried to guide me on the technicalities of some stories. And even now, we still respect him when it comes to writing quote stories.
There is any other job I can do that I like than being a journalist, because it's just my passion.
However, his health challenges started to worsen, prompting well-wishers to intervene. One of those was former Kabale Woman Member of Parliament Rita Ronani-Sima in 2013. The fundraising effort raised 38 million shillings, which saw him transferred to Case Hospital in Kampala.
We were told he could have a 3-hour surgery that would help him, but they would have to do it in phases because they couldn't operate the upper abdomen and lower at a go.
The doctors identified the cause of his health problem as the fact that hormones developed faster than usual, leading to unusual fat distribution in his body.
Operation that was supposed to take about 3 hours took 8, and we found that the challenge was asthma, because he was asthmatic and now he also has diabetes. It was difficult for them to do a normal operation.
We asked Kabale Municipality MP Dr. Nicholas Kamara, also a non-communicable disease expert, how common this condition is and what the treatment regimen entails.
Of course, is the hormone responsible for growth in simple terms, but also has other balance. It balances with the insulin as a way of balancing the body metabolism. But there is also what happens is that when you have excessive growth hormone, you are not necessarily obese, but you have something called gingatism. You are a giant. You have very huge hands. You have a very big scalp. Sometimes you find that, of course, you also can develop some tumors in the brain.
After this treatment, Agaba's body stabilized for about 6 years. But in 2018, his body started to swell again, and this time he also developed more related ailments.
For like after 8 years, I again developed it again. So in 2018, I was bedridden. When they went there, they found that I was diabetic. So I had to go to Mulago under the help of then Prime Minister Dr. Rakana Rugunda, where I spent like first I spent there 3 months. I came back, things never worked up again. I went back. I spent there other like 5 to 6 months. So that's when they was recommended for an operation.
After the preliminary treatment, he was transferred to Chirudu Hospital in Kampala, where further tests were done and plans to take him abroad for comprehensive operations were initiated. However, those plans fell through.
But COVID came in, everything things changed, so I kept developing. The size kept increasing after, so I had to keep like that up to now where I am.
For now, Agaba says he regularly wakes up at around 5 a.m. and immediately turns to his smartphone to find out what is happening online and on the main legacy media. With that, he's ready to start the morning in earnest. One of his main challenges is getting around, since walking long distances is now problematic. To be able to head to the field, Agaba has to use a boda to get around, and it can get quite pricey for him.
A journey of 5,000, I pay 10. It's double every journey. Where others pay double, less I pay. And at times some may come when it is full, and they don't have a space for me, so I have to keep there.
Clothing is another area that presents a major headache.
The shirts I usually wear, it is 50,000 to make it all, and the trouser it is 80,000 because I usually make it double.
However, his biggest frustration is the unwarranted attention gained from the public when he shows up to report the news there. He's unhappy that he's frequently the center of attraction at public events, even when he's actually looking for news.
Attention when you are going to a public function and you enter, the whole attention moves from the function to you, and you at times destabilize the function. So it really disturbs me. If I could cut the size and become normal, people would not bother about me again.
While some have speculated that the cause of his problems may arise from his diet, he insists that he maintains a very simple food regimen. His favorite dishes include posho, meat, peas, beans, matoke, potatoes, and fish. Agaba says he has stopped taking his favorite drink, soda, on the advice of his doctors and only takes water. But for a man of his age, there has also been speculation about how he spends his days or if he has any offsprings. Agaba, who still has no children, credits his girlfriend of 10 years with helping him to cope. However, despite his frustration with obtaining unwarranted attention, Agaba can't seem to stay away from it, and the rain may be the cause of his help. At a recent event in Rushoroza Cathedral in Kabale, Agaba's condition caught the attention of the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, who was presiding. After consulting several legislators and other prominent Kabale residents, Alupo called for concerted efforts to save Agaba's life.
So a report was sent to her. We are thinking that maybe through her something can also be done, but we also continue to pray for even faster means.
While the details of these efforts are still sketchy, there are plans to start another fundraiser to help Agaba secure specialized health care. Only time will tell when this happens. For now, Agaba has to keep up with his daily grind with all the challenges that come with his health condition.